Hi folks, welcome back. I thought I'd grab Joanne Hogg here for a minute or two and do a quick update. We've Joe. Well, in fact, let me introduce Jodie first. So some of you know Joanne already because some of you are on her mailing list, and you also know, those of you who are familiar with Cave Sessions Volume 1, you'll know that Joe was a big part of that. And but for those folks who don't know you, who are you?
Who am I? I am Joanne Hogg, or known as Jo to most of my friends and family. And yeah, musically, who am I? I probably was, best known as the vocalist and songwriter with Iona, the band Iona, for best part of 3 decades. But a year and a half ago was kind of put to bed for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, or resting.
Yeah.
Okay, so that leads us on to kind of what you're currently working on. Obviously, we did the Cave Sessions project a couple of years ago, but you've had this other thing going. So tell us about the MAP project.
The MAP project. MAP project stands for Miracles and Parables, and the idea, the concept has been kind of in my mind for quite a few years, but it was really a couple of years ago that it began to sort of take shape. And at that time I was struck by this expression that I kept hearing in conversations and even on TV documentaries and things that I was watching at the time, this expression that people were saying, "I feel so lost." And I was just really struck by this kind of sense of lostness that seemed so prevalent, and I just kind of felt, what was my response to it, and I did want to present the this idea of miracles and parables, songs about those, like story songs, in some kind of conceptual way. And it was just a bit of a kind of one of those light bulb moments where I was, driving along one day thinking, miracles, parables and miracles, parables and miracles, miracles and parables. And I just suddenly just thought of the word map, and that miracles and parables, you take the letters, it spells map. And I just thought, well, that's what it is. Yeah. For me, it's, the songs are story songs about parables that Jesus taught, and miracles from Scripture, mostly New Testament, but there's an Old Testament one on the first part 1 release. So that Christ said, "I am the way." So the songs are really revealing who Christ is. And so that kind of became the reason for calling it that.
Yeah. So you're about to kind of release the first EP of it, which is what, 6 tracks, and
yes,
there's 3 out there so far, isn't there?
6 songs on the EP, and last year I recorded like band videos of 3 of the songs and did release those on YouTube. And those were a song called Thirst, which was the story of the encounter of the Samaritan woman at a well with Jesus. Then the General, which is the story of Naaman, the Syrian general in the Old Testament, who's healed from leprosy. And then the parable song, The Two Brothers, which is the parable of the prodigal son, or the extravagantly loving father, whichever your
perspective,
view of that. And yes, so I just did a video with the musicians who were involved in the recording of those 3 tracks last year. So they're out there. And
then the 3 that haven't been released yet but will be on the project, what are they?
The other 3, one is the Parable of the Good Samaritan, but the perspective of each song is kind of different. Sometimes I'm writing it as a character in the story. Sometimes I'm writing it as an observer,
Okay.
or I could be writing it as my response to it.
Right.
So the Good Samaritan is really more about my response to that parable and how I kind of questioned myself. And the other song is called Hunger.
Yeah.
Because I kind of wanted to have thirst and hunger on the same EP, and the Hunger track is about the miracle of the feeding of crowd of people, 5,000 plus people, and it's written from the perspective of one of the disciples.
Okay.
And his experience of that incident. And then the last song is called Constant in My Chaos, which it's the one song that isn't a miracle or a parable. It's my personal reflection on who Jesus Christ is in my world, and I've called it the compass. So because there's a line in the song that says you're the compass for my wanderings. So yeah, those three are
cool.
part of it, and then the other songs, there's kind of other songs in the pipeline for part 2.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, so it's emerging into a multi-part project. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, I mean, because there's so many great stories to write, and you know, I every time I'm reading something, if it's a parable or a miracle, I'm thinking, how can I you know, express this as a song now? Because story songs was kind of not something I really tried to do much in the past, although some of the Iona tracks were story inspired.
Yeah. So if you haven't, I'll put links near this video. Wherever you're watching this video, there'll be a link somewhere nearby. We'll link it to the previously released ones. And if you aren't already on Joanne's email list, I know your website's been revamped at the minute because it hasn't changed since we set it up for the.
No, really isn't a website.
but you can go, if you go to joannehogg.com, even though it's in the process of being revamped, you can join her mailing list there, and you'll obviously get updates whenever the rest of the stuff comes out. But yeah, we've just actually, you just played me just a few minutes ago. Played me it's not quite the final mix, but it's the almost final mix. Sorry, you can hear the dog. My dog is lying at her feet, and she has this inbuilt guard mechanism. She's guarding the street, so anytime she hears a car go past, that's why she barks. Joe played me the kind of almost final mix of the song called Hunger, and it sounds amazing. Actually, it sounds really great. There's even though it isn't finally quite there, but just the stuff that actually sounds good. And for folks who are familiar with the Iona material, you know, you think it's very different from that, but obviously your voice is the kind of, from my perspective, is the kind of constant.
Musically, it's just a different palette. Instrumentation wise, it's just different sounds in there. I mean, the kind of the other main voicing in the songs, other than, you know, drums, bass, piano, guitar, for this project has been flugelhorn and a little bit of trumpet in places, but quite a lot of flugelhorn, which
actually sounds great.
And cello. That those two instruments, I think, are kind of really. They have this kind of vocal sort of resonance to them, and I've just really enjoyed that kind of combination.
So finally, when is the project?
Well,
out?
I am this week just trying to finalise artwork for CD. Eventually decided to go ahead and manufacture some CDs, and so artwork I will hopefully be putting in the order for manufacturing sometime before the end of February, ideally, and have CDs by the middle of March.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because you're off to Japan at the end.
Yes, I'm going to Japan at the beginning of April, so I want to have some CDs to put in my suitcase.
Great. Folks, anyway, there you go. You heard it here first. Well, maybe not first, but you heard it here. The map project is imminent. Again, if you haven't already, I'll go and check out the links somewhere near this video, and go and sign up. If you're not already on Joanne's mailing list, go and sign up to that, and you will be kept in the loop.
And thank you for taking time to listen.
Yeah,
to your chatter.
I haven't mentioned this. I kind of have this idea. Maybe once it's out, we'll do. You fancy doing a live stream? Kind of like doing a song or two live.
Maybe.
We haven't. Yeah, we're making this up as we go along.
Yes.
So I've dabbled a little bit with doing the live video thing, and it's been a whole lot of fun. Nerve-wracking, but a whole lot of fun. So anyway, we'll maybe do something. Yeah. Anyway, folks, thanks again. If you're kind of watching this on my Patreon, again, thank you for being in the orbit of my world, and thank you for your support and all that. If you're watching this somewhere else after the fact, thank you again. I appreciate the interest and all that we do. There's this amazing community of we often kind of take it for granted, but there's this amazing community of kind of artistic people here on the north coast of Ireland, and you sometimes kind of forget that just being part of a community like that is just a very life-giving thing. So it's always a joy to kind of have others in and talk about what's going on. So thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Andy.
All right, folks, see you soon.